Today's all about cloud bath bombs that shoot out rainbows. So if that sounds like fun and something you'd like to learn how to make, then stick around. Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. My name's Anne, and along with my good friend Wayne, we run this YouTube channel and the Sussex Handmade Soap Company, which is a small bath and body business based in the southeast of the UK. Today we are going to be making cloud bath bombs that have secret colour embeds in them. That means that they will shoot out rainbows when they are bobbing around in your bath. Now, a few weeks back we did show you us making some hot pink bath bomb embeds, and I'm going to link to that video here in case you want to watch that and learn how we actually made the embeds that we are using in today's video. We have created some other colours as well. We did make the hot pink on camera a few weeks ago, but we have also made some other colours to go with them. Purple, yellow, there's the hot pink, some green and some blue. And these are the colours we're going to be using in our rainbow bath bombs today. So the first things first, I'm going to talk you through the ingredients that we have got. In our silver bowl here, we have got 420 grams of bicarbonate of soda. We have got 15 grams of SLSA. We have got 8 grams of cream of tartar. And that is that for the silver bowl. Coming down to these ingredients here, we have got 210 grams of citric acid here. In this little pot here, we have got 4.8 grams of grapeseed oil. We have got 4.8 grams of Polysorbate 80, and we have got 14.4 grams of cranberry fragrance oil from Candleshack. We're using the Polysorbate today just to kind of help the ingredients to emulsify together so that there is no oily ring or colour ring left around the bath. We don't always use our Polysorbate 80 in our bath bomb recipes, but when we use this specific recipe we do, purely because in our other recipes we use SCI, which helps to kind of emulsify everything together and avoid that oily ring around the bath. But as we are not using SCI today, we do use our Polysorbate. We have also lastly got 10 grams of water. Now this is a good amount of water for us, however depending on where you are and the humidity levels and altitude and various other little factors, you may need more or less water. It can even be affected as to whether it is raining outside or if it is a sunny day. So your water amount is something that we can't tell you. It's something you're just going to have to kind of experiment with to see what works for you. But we are using 10 grams. So now I have covered our ingredients, let's get into actually making these bath bombs. So I am using our KitchenAid stand mixer. However, if you do not have a stand mixer, you can mix by hand. It just might take a little bit longer for things to come together, but you can absolutely mix by hand if you don't have a stand mixer. So don't worry about going out and splashing the cash and buying a mixer purely to make bath bombs, because your hands and a mixing bowl are going to do the job just as well. We are using the paddle attachment on our KitchenAid today. And I'm just going to pop that down, and I'm going to place the guard on as well, just so it doesn't puff up too much. And because this is going to make quite a noise once I've turned it on, I am going to describe what I'm doing before I actually start adding things, otherwise you will not hear me over the sound of the mixer. So the very first thing we're going to do when we have turned this on is add our 10 grams of water. So let's get the mixer turned on to a nice slow speed to begin with. And once I've added the water and I've started mixing, I slowly raise from level 2 on my KitchenAid up to around about a level 4, so a slow to medium speed, and I give it roughly sort of 30 seconds just with the water. And then we go in with our Polysorbate, our grapeseed oil and our fragrance. Normally I don't stop the mixer between adding things in, but I am today purely so that you guys can hear me, but normally I would just leave it running and add it in. So going in with these ingredients now. and I give it a very brief kind of 10-20 second mix, and then what I like to do is actually take the bowl off, and then I take the pot that the fragrance and oils were in, and as you can see there is actually a fair amount of residue in the bottom of that pot. So what I like to do is grab a little handful of the mix, place it into the pot, and then I kind of run my fingers round, and that really helps to get out any kind of residual fragrance or grapeseed oil or polysorbate that is stuck to the bottom of the mixing pot, and it makes sure that everything is actually in this silver pan and not left in the bottom of this. It also makes it a lot easier when it comes to washing up, because you haven't got a load of residual oil left in this that you have to handle. And now it is back to mixing, and I'm going to give it probably a couple of minutes for these ingredients to combine, which will give me time to go and wash my hands a little. So once it's had a couple of minutes to incorporate, the last ingredient we are going in with is our citric acid. And I'm going to pop this in, then I'm going to turn the mixer up to kind of a level 5 to 6, so a kind of medium speed, and that's really going to help everything to incorporate. Then I'm going to give it another 2 or 3 minutes, and then hopefully we should be done with the mixing. So after another couple of minutes, we've got a mix that looks like this. And I'm looking for a nice sandy kind of kinetic sand texture. So I'm going in with my hands just to check that it feels all right and that everything is incorporated, which it is, or it seems to be at least. And what I like to do is take a clump in my hand, give it a squeeze, and it should form a ball or come together. And I should be able to drop it without it falling apart, but it should be able to be crumbled really easily back into powder. And that is how I know I've got a nice consistency that should hopefully work well and hold nicely when we form our bath bombs. So I've now brought in our embeds, our scales and our bath bomb mould, and we are using the 3-piece cloud mould from Cada Molds. I'm sure you can probably purchase cloud moulds like this from somewhere in the UK. I was just a little bit lazy when it came to my purchasing, so I stuck with what I know. But I'm sure, as I say, you can probably pick them up in the UK, which will be a lot cheaper, especially when it comes to shipping. Now, to fill these moulds, the first thing I do is just take a little handful of my mix, and I get it in the base of the mould, and I only add around about 40 to 50 grams of mix to begin with, but I do kind of gently press it into the edges with my fingers just to make sure that the mix is filling right up to the edges. And then I go in with my embeds. And these are our embeds, and I know that a lot of people do have ones that are all kind of stuck together in a nice line, which is probably a lot easier, but ours are not. Ours are all individual. So I'm going to place them one at a time, and I'm going to try and do them in kind of the rainbow sequence. So I don't have a red, but that is what our pink is for. So we start with a pink, and then next in the rainbow would be orange or yellow. So we're going in with our yellow next, red, orange, yellow, green, green next, then blue, and then indigo and violet, so our little purple one. And I like to put a couple of embeds in each cloud, just because one will give you that kind of rainbow foam, but they don't last quite as long as I'd like when we just use one, so I pop in a couple just for extra rainbow goodness. And once they are positioned, it's just a case of topping up the mould. And because the embeds are quite firm, I like to make sure that this part of the mould, the top part, is properly filled so that when we press down we don't end up with a cloud that is slimmer on one side than the other. So I tend to fill around the embeds first, just to bring that level up a bit. And then I just go in over the top, bringing the weight up to 140, which, as I said, is the level at which our bath bombs float nicely and don't sink, or at least hopefully don't sink. Then I give it a little shake just to kind of level it a little, and again I just very gently press it into those edges to make sure it is filled up to the edge. Then we take the top part of our mould, we place it on top, and normally I would give it a good firm press down on the table, but the table we are filming on today is not especially sturdy, and I'm not sure it will take me pressing it hard, so I'm going to squeeze it between my hands, and I'm going to turn around actually and just press it firm here, which you may or may not be able to see. There we go. So that is one cloud, and I'm going to give it a very gentle tap with the spoon just to help it release. And then I remove the top part of the mould and we press down like so. Then we bring in our greaseproof lined tray, and I like to place our bath bombs on greaseproof so that they don't get stuck to anything. Greaseproof works really well for making sure the bombs don't stick while they are drying. And I quickly whip it over and then remove the top. And there we have one cloud bath bomb, and all this little bit of excess will just be able to be brushed away once it has dried. So one rainbow cloud. Should we do another one in fast motion? Why not? So there we have it, 2 cloud bath bombs. The mix I made is enough for 5, but I think showing you guys 2 is probably enough. Show you them closer up there. So as you can see, you can't really see any of those embeds poking out. So it is that kind of surprise of colour once they hit the bath water. Now the plan was to show you guys one of these in the bath floating around, but I've left it too late to do that because this video is going up in a few hours time and these won't be dry and ready. So what I'm going to do, because it's a little bit mean to show you guys these being made and not showing you what they do, I have got one that I made last year. This is one of our initial tester ones. Now it is slightly too heavy. This is 150 grams, and I found that 150 grams does have a tendency to sink a little bit. So there is a chance that this might sink. If it does, I'll just sort of prop it up a little bit with my hand just to show you guys what the rainbow effect actually does. So yeah, a little disappointed I haven't got time to show you guys one of these being done, but we are going to go with one that's Blue Peter style I made earlier. So let's go upstairs and check this out in the bath now. So the bath bomb actually worked quite well, but the video footage decided to corrupt itself, which left a bit of a problem considering I had no more clouds to test. The only thing I could do was hunt through my phone videos from last year and find my original testing videos. So that is what you are getting shown now. The embeds were placed slightly differently, so they're coming out at different angles, but this gives you a general idea of what the bath bomb does. So I'm hoping that little bathtub test went well. I haven't done it yet. I'm just jumping straight into doing the outro to our video because I'm right here and the camera equipment is set up here. So hopefully that went well. Fingers crossed. Who knows? And I hope you've enjoyed today's video and have enjoyed watching us making our cloud bath bombs and have enjoyed seeing how we actually put them all together. If you do enjoy our videos, then please do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss one of our videos coming out. Feel free to leave us a comment and give us a thumbs up if you are enjoying what we are doing. We will see you next week. It'll be a diary update for Tuesday and then something else entirely on Friday. So until next time, have a wonderful week and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.